Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast, the heart of the fan.
World champion Atlanta Braves baseball is once again brought to you by Truist. We join you again in Miami for Game 2 of our 4-game series. It's a day-night doubleheader here at Lone Depot Park, where the Braves won 4-3 in a series opening victory here in South Florida last night. Hi again, everybody. Chip Carey, Jeff Rancourt. Big win for the Braves, a 500 road trip so far. But, Jeff, the biggest news, Brian Snitker and the Braves have shuffled their starting rotation for the rest of the series.
Yeah, look, I think you can get these guys a little bit of extra rest. It's been a lot of games in a row, and they need it. With that being said, what they're going to do today is they're going to throw Kyle Muller in Game 1 and Ian Anderson in Game 2. With Kyle Muller going in Game 1, really, he's been throwing great in Gwinnett. And Brian Snitker said, I'm looking forward to seeing the adjustments he's made. You think back to Kyle Wright last year, he threw all that time in AAA, came back, and how just, how good he was for this Atlanta Braves club. So you see 3.27. The big thing for me is going to be the walks. If he can limit the walks, we've seen this stuff. So hopefully he can give some length, save the bullpen, and then Ian Anderson will be getting the ball in Game 2.
So let's see if the Braves can keep their winning ways going. They go for a 4-game win streak with Jesus Luzardo on the mound for the Marlins in Game 1. Michael Harris II continues his dazzling rookie season. Money Mike came up big last night. He stops by for a chat with Kelly Kroll as we continue from South Florida after the break.
Where the Braves and Marlins will continue their 4-game series with a day-night doubleheader. As Brian Snitker's club took the opener of the series last night, thanks in big part to their rookie duo. A little bit of reverse from what we saw at Fenway. Vaughn Grissom led off the 8th with a double. It was Michael Harris who sent his 11th homer of the season out of the park, and this sensational center fielder, he just has a knack for the big moments. Take a look right here at what he has done with runners in scoring position, 7th inning or later, and he leads National League rookies in average OPS and steals. And be sure and take a look at the note there at the bottom. The 5 outs above average, tied for 4th most in MLB. And in catching up with him after the game, Harris told me that hitting that go-ahead homer last night was a wild feeling.
I don't know, I black out when I hit it, and whatever I do after that, it's been crazy though.
You and Vaughn have that in common then. You said the same thing about his.
Yeah. I guess coming up here is
up at first, I guess, and then you just
you black out until you touch first and see the bullpen cheering for you. So after that, you're all good. But yeah, it feels good to do my job there and bring in runs.
And in talking to Grissom right after that interview, he said, yeah, we've done this before in the Gulf Coast League, not quite at the big league level, but we'll see what those two have in store this afternoon. They do move up a spot in the lineup. It'll be Grissom hitting 7th and Harris hitting 8th today as Kyle Muller takes the mound in Miami. Game 1 of our Twin Bill on the way here on Valley Sports. It's the Braves and the Fish from Florida.
By Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Kaiser Permanente.
It's a beautiful Saturday for baseball at the headwaters of the Mikosuke Canal. Braves and Marlins, Game 2 of 4, our first of 2 today, as Ronald and the boys try to win their 4th consecutive game, a 4-3 victory last night. And Jeff, the Braves doing what they do, hitting home runs. The Marlins doing what they are doing, really struggling to score runs. And that is our landmark team comparison as we kick off Game 2 today.
Well, I thought last night was a perfect example. The Marlins had chances. They were not able to get the power. And look at that down there. When you think about it, 21 home runs to 56 for the Braves. So that's the thing today where, yes, the Braves are throwing Kyle Muller, Ian Anderson, a couple guys struggle, but you feel like offensively, kind of put this thing away. Could be good matchups for them.
And hopefully Ronald Acuna Jr. will spark the Braves Toyota starting lineup. Atlanta won 4-3 last night. As you heard Kelly mention a moment ago, for Snit, a different look at the bottom of his lineup card. Robbie Grossman gets the start in left. Vaughn Grissom 7th, Michael Harris 8th, and we'll get our first look at Chadwick Trump, who will catch his first game for the Braves. This is not Chadwick's major league debut, however. Atlanta's got a tough customer. Jesus Luzardo, a local kid in his first full season with the Marlins. He's been injured quite a bit this year, Jeff, but he's looked good in his last couple of starts.
He does, and he's got a big arm. He throws a hard fastball, and you see he had a good start against the Braves back in April. I think more than anything, Don Mattingly told us yesterday, just trying to get comfortable pitching at home. He's from here in Miami, and he's hoping a big piece moving forward for them in that rotation.
And you know how well the Braves hit left-handed pitching, a trend we hope continues. But what are your other trends today? Let's check out the Ford Keys.
Well, I think back to Boston the other night. Rich Hill, even though he's got good curveball, Luzardo's got a good curveball, they hunted that heater, and they did not miss it. Same thing today. You're going to get 50% fastball, and it's going to be high velocity. Get on that fastball. And really, for Kyle Muller, it comes down to, look, we've seen him at his best. He throws strikes. He's tough to hit. His one start this year in Texas, 6 walks. You can't do that. So for him, hopefully he's a lot more relaxed after, a good stretch here at AAA.
So let's get the day-night doubleheader off to a good start with Ronald Acuna Jr. set to lead off. Ronald scored 6 runs in the last 7 games for the Braves. He is looking like himself on this road trip. It's been excellent. The last 7 games for Acuna, 17 hits. Ronald hitting .304 this year against the Marlins, a club against which he has feasted in his big league career. And Luzardo's first is on the way, and a line drive on the first pitch. Great start for Atlanta. A leadoff single for Acuna.
Hey, you love that. Just shoot it the other way, especially if they're going to play those big shifts. Obviously, Ronald just listened to the Ford Keys. You think?
Love it. Dansby Swanson, the batter. Dansby drove in the game-tying run last night with a sacrifice fly. Michael Harris's 2-run homer in the 8th gave the Braves their final 2 runs. There's the fastball that missed off the plate from Luzardo, who's 1-1 against the Braves with a .563 earned run average. That catches the inside corner. Lance Barksdale calling balls and strikes here in game 1. You mentioned the challenge of playing at home for the first time. You went through that. What is that big challenge as a major league player?
Well, like you said, all your friends are in town, everything, and if you start to struggle a little bit, they're kind of telling you, remember when you were in high school, you did this, or in the minors, and it just can be tough. It can cloud your mind. Don Mattingly was telling us that yesterday. You almost want him to just, hey, you know what? You're good. You're here for a reason, and listen to the guys you need to listen to.
Ronald got a great jump. Dansby took a hack and fouls that away. And the count 1-2. The Marlins acquired Luzardo from the Oakland A's. They traded Starling Marte at the deadline last year. Luzardo just 24 years of age and making his 9th start. That bounced up there, and a good secondary lead for Acuna. The throw to second sails into center field. Ronald thought about going, and now he'll hustle back to second on a ball in the dirt. Fortes did all he could to keep Ronald at bay, but Acuna in scoring position with nobody out.
Oh, good dirt ball read. You can see right when it went off his chest, and it forced him to make a tough throw. And Ronald might have been able to get third base here if he kept going, but with no outs, you don't want to make that out at third base.
That cost the Marlins dearly last night.
Yes, it did.
So an RBI chance for Swanson, who's got 61 of those on the season.
This is where Dansby has improved so much. His 2 strikes. Saw last night, was able to inside out one from Lopez, get the sack flying. Here you can see him making an effort of trying to shoot that ball the other way. With the shift, he's got the whole hole over there. Worst case, you hit it at Cooper at first, you get him over.
Another dirt ball and a full count.
And then what it does is it keeps you from swinging at that pitch. You know, if you're trying to cheat a little bit to get to 95, 96, a lot of times that's how you swing at that back foot slider. If you got the right approach and you're trying to shoot the ball the other way, you recognize it and you spit on it.
Swing and a miss.
That was a good changeup.
He's got a good one. 49% whiff rate on the changeup for Luzardo. That is an A+ pitch, and Dansby is retired for the first out. Four-plus pitches for Jesus Luzardo. 1 on, 1 out, Austin Riley is the Braves batter, riding a 4-game hit streak. He's knocked in 5 runs during this hot stretch. Austin last night ripped a 6th inning double. And Luzardo wearing out the home plate area in this top of the first inning. Riley, the Braves MVP candidate, leads the world in multi-hit games. 30 homers, 74 RBIs, and flirting with a 300 average too. What a year. Swing, fly ball, hit toward left, and a late break and catch made by Luke Williams, and that retires Austin Riley for the second out.
And Austin got that off the end of the bat, and you could see Williams in left field went back a good bit. Ball almost had top spin to drop.
So former teammates Matt Olson and Jesus Luzardo square off. Matt 0 for 3 against the now Marlins left-hander. Olson hit a home run here last night. That's bounced off the plate foul, strike 1. Matt Olson has a hit in each of his last 3 games, 22 homers. And 71 runs batted in. Acuna at second with 2 outs. Luzardo this year has been very stingy with runners in scoring position. The league hitting just 143 against him when he's been in trouble. Let's see if Matt can change that here. Another ball in the dirt.
Now that's what helps Luzardo. He's got strikeout stuff, so if he does get a guy in scoring position like this, he can stabilize it by, like Dansby, getting a big strikeout to keep him at second.
High pop up at shortstop. Rojas drifts back. He says he has it, and Luzardo escapes trouble in the opening inning. Kyle Muller is back in the show. He'll start the home first next. Miami, Don Mattingly's Marlins will line up this way. Quite simply, it's been a real struggle for them offensively. They have scored 3 or fewer runs in 12 consecutive games. And some new names out there for the Fish in game 2. Nick Fortes, Charles LeBlanc, Peyton Burdick, all have faced Kyle Muller in the minor leagues this year. And Kyle back in the show, Jeff, for the first time since May the 1st today.
And you see 10 career games, 9 starts. But in the minors, he went back and he's pitched pretty darn good this year. Again, for him, it's going to come down to controlling that strike zone.
And that's what cost him in his May 1st start at Texas. 6 walks in 2 2/3 innings. And he really did an excellent job with the Stripers of pounding the strike zone. 10 walks, 66 strikeouts in his last 9 games. In fact, he was leading the International League in strikeouts at the time of his promotion. And a one-hopper right at Riley. That'll take care of John Birdie. And Kyle Muller off to a good start. One man out. I think it's safe to say, too, Jeff, as well as Kyle had been pitching, were it not for an unfortunate injury, he might have been here sooner for the Braves.
Yeah, what broke his wrist. God, it wasn't his pitching wrist, obviously, but you can see he's got it wrapped up there under the glove.
He was standing in foul ground before one of the Gwinnett games, didn't have a glove on, and a line drive was headed for his head, and he put his hand up in self-defense. Luckily, it hit the hand, not his cranium. As that's fouled back by Miguel Rojas, batting second for the Marlins. So, Kelly, a sad turn of events for Kyle Muller, but he's pitching hurt for the Braves in Game 2 today.
He is, and he's got a couple options, guys. He walked in the clubhouse this morning with sort of what looks like a soft cast, right, that's wrapped around. But right now, it's something that's just guarding kind of the finger and the thumb, wrapped up with tape. And then this is actually a softball glove that he is wearing on that hand, and it was his idea. The way this goes, he told me he went to Dick's Sporting Goods and just picked out a softball glove because he knew he needed that added space, right? In their friendship, I'm sure you can explain that a little bit more, but I think this was his idea to the training staff from what I gathered about this story. So I think that's great. They found a way to make it work and certainly protect that hand.
Tell you what, though, Kelly, we're going to have to call Easton and see if they can get him a glove.
We'll work on that after the start,
imagine him walking
right?
into Dick's saying, yeah, you know, I got to start it in Miami. I need a glove. You got one?
Well, this guy's 6'7", 250.
Well, yeah.
It's not like
they probably thought it was for beer league softball, let's be honest, with his size.
No question.
But whatever works. As Muller facing Miguel Rojas, 2 quick strikes. And another ground ball, this one to Dansby. He's got that, and the peg to first in plenty of time, 2 outs. I think this guy has all the tools to be a big winner in the major leagues. He's got the size, he's got the stuff. Can he throw enough strikes? Well, so far, Jeff, so good. 2 up, 2 down on the ground.
No, we saw him last year throw, you know, that great game against the Mets and a good lineup. Like you said, for him, though, 6 walks, you're not going to survive that. But if he can keep it in the strike zone with his movement, you know, he can have a lot of success up here in the big leagues.
Garrett Cooper is the Marlins hitter with the bases empty. This guy has worn out the Braves. Got to find a way to get him out.
Hey, we struck him out last night.
So there's a start.
AJ Minter blew 2 fastballs right by him.
Cooper's 12 for 27 against the Braves staff. This one right off the foot of Muller. Riley at third, and the stretch is in time. 1-5-3 is the nifty putout. 3 ground ball outs for Kyle Muller, who's off to a good start in Miami. One, two, three, first inning, Jeff, all ground ball outs.
Yeah, you love to see that. Got behind 2-0 to that first hitter and then really went to work pounding the zone. Something you like too, he keeps that ball down. And I think, you know, if he can do that, hit that bottom part of the strike zone, it's a recipe for success.
So we head to the second inning. William Contreras is the Braves' designated hitter for Game 1. Contreras, Grossman, and Grissom coming up for the Braves. And William hunting the heater, as Jeff suggested, didn't get that. No balls and a strike.
I mean, you saw the movement on that pitch. He's got some sink on that fastball. That's why I think I love Ronald's approach coming out. I think you try to shoot that fastball up the middle the other way, and then if you get that changeup, you hope that you're in a decent enough hitting position that maybe you can line it to left field.
Strike 3 right down Broadway at 95 miles an hour. And a strikeout starts the Braves' second. Robbie Grossman's coming up. Look, this guy's tough. He's allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in 6 of his 8 starts with Miami. And Jeff, he's averaging over 11 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Well, that's the thing. The one thing that it does is it racks up pitches. He really has trouble going deep into games because of that. But it also, like you said, it's tough for an offense to rack up 3-4 hits in a row.
And getting into the Marlins bullpen early in Game 1 would be a great key for the Braves. For the Fish plan to use a bullpen game in Game 2 tonight, starting at 7:10 Eastern Time. A ball and a strike for Robbie Grossman. The Braves switch hitting outfielder takes another strike inside corner. It's 1-2.
He kind of slings that fastball too.
There's that off-speed stuff that Robbie laid off. Couple of homers, 24 RBIs for Grossman. With left-hander on the mound, Robbie gets a chance to start. Eddie Rosario available off the Braves bench. Another strikeout looking. 2 up, 2 down.
There's that curveball. You see there, threw Robbie all 3 pitches. So the only good thing for him is he go up the second time, you saw all 3 pitches.
Well, Luzardo can't pitch much better than he did his last time out. 7 innings of 1-hit shutout ball against the Cubs. He allowed a hit to Acuna to start the game, but nothing since, as Vaughn Grissom batting 7th in game 1. Grissom with an 8th inning double, and then the Harris home run. Vaughn scored runs in each of his first 2 big league games. He's the first Braves player to do that in his first 2 games in the show since Austin Riley back in 2019. And now the 1-2 pitch is poked toward third, a soft line drive, and that will retire the Braves in order. We go to the home second. Kyle Muller and Jesus Luzardo in a good pitcher's duel early. Baseball from South Florida today is brought to you by Truist. Kelly Cole, Jeff Rancourt, Chip Carey with you. Our Great Valley Sports crew as well. No score as Kyle Muller gets set for his second inning of work. He'll face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Miami. And this is a heavyweight matchup, wouldn't you say? Kyle Muller and Jesus Aguilar square off for the first time today.
A couple hard throwing lefties. Both guys got good fastballs here to start today.
Aguilar 0 for 3 in the series is down to his last strike. And smokes that to center. Harris retreating. And to the warning track he goes for out number 1. Michael smooth as silk in center, no trouble. And there's the first out. J.J. Bleday is coming up. Interesting how Don Mattingly put together his lineup today. Bleday early in his big league career. Charles LeBlanc at third base. Peyton Burdick in right field. All 3 of those men faced Kyle Muller while with Jacksonville at AAA.
That's good reason they're in this first game today.
Bleday was hitless last night. And Muller's got everything working so far. Throwing strikes.
See the occasional changeup, but really coming at you with 3 pitches.
Something else that the Braves did, which is worth noting. Chadwick Trump caught him a lot.
Yep.
And Gwinnett as well. So this battery is familiar with how to game plan. The pitch. Into right field. Ron a late break, but he's going to get there and makes the chest high catch. Wonder if that got in the lights. Looked like a late reaction from Acuna, but he makes a nice play. 2 out.
Yeah, got a good jump on this too, though. Ball. thing that ended up helping you out, he actually hit it so good that it didn't have any hook to it. It kind of just carried, and Ronald was able to make the catch coming in. You can see that lights up top probably got in the way a little bit.
Nick Fortes is the catcher today for Miami of the University of Mississippi. And DeLand, Florida, just north of Orlando. And another chance in right for Ronald. And Muller is rolling merrily along. He's retired the first 6 in order. And we go to the 3rd inning. Nothing in Miami. It's game 1 of 2 from Lone Depot Park. Third inning. Michael Harris is a very strong candidate to win the Rookie of the Year award, and these numbers tell you why, Jeff. Are Zaxby's indescribably good numbers.
Yeah, we all know how good his defense is, but here from the offensive standpoint, you can see in steals there, 12 so far, and it's one of those things, if he wants to start running more, I have the feeling he can do it and get more. He only trails Morel and Suzuki in extra base hits, but he's got 40 fewer plate appearances. You look at our stacked half 3D by Google Cloud. Great August. Spray chart was beautiful.
And you know what's been so fun about Michael, as the game has gotten later and the at-bats have become more important, his production has actually increased.
That at-bat we saw last night with the 2-run homer. 2 strikes, you saw him trying to do the right thing, get him over, and next thing you know, he connected on one, a bullet off the facade in right field.
A 2-run homer for Michael's 11th long ball of the year. He's got 5 hits in his last 3 games. But a tough challenge with Luzardo, another lefty on the mound for the Fish today. Nobody on or out. 2-2 pitch. And Harris is down on strikes. Luzardo has 4 of those in the game. And Chadwick Trump will make his Braves debut.
I can see big power for Chadwick. We looked up last night what he's got. 17 career hits, I think, and 5 have left the park.
One of 6 players in baseball history that hails from Aruba. Great scene at Fenway Park in Boston when he and Xander Bogaerts took a picture before the game. And in for a strike. It's an even count. You heard Kelly's report last night. The Braves are still waiting for Travis d'Arnaud to make his way back after he was injured in New York at the start of the road trip. Kelly reported last night that we'll probably see d'Arnaud when the Braves get home to take on the Mets beginning Monday night.
Yeah, he thought if he was going to play, it might be tonight, but with 2 early day games too, probably better to wait till Monday night.
Driven into right center field. That's going to get down and roll to the wall. Welcome to Atlanta, Chadwick Trump. A line drive double to right center. And that's the 2nd Braves hit. Runner in scoring position for Acuna here in the Atlanta 3rd.
Well, he worked the count in his favor. 2-1, laid off that tough one in. And here he got a sinker out over the plate. Seen the Braves 2 hits today, both to that right center. That one was able to get all the way to the wall. Nice approach.
So let's get him in and get a lead here. Ronald with a base hit his first time up.
Got pretty good speed too, Chadwick, for a catcher.
It's funny, every time a catcher does that, you have to add that little disclaimer, right? As Tim McCarver used to say, damning him with faint praise.
Exactly. He did all the things right. And you know what? You run pretty good for a catcher.
1 strike for Ronald. Braves have both hits in the ball game. Acuna Didn't get that. It's 0-2.
Yeah,
this is where Luzardo's so tough.
Yeah, when you watch your best friend, run the bases for a long time, being a catcher, you get accustomed to it.
Poor Brian's not here to defend himself.
I didn't say anybody.
Well, you said your best friend. I mean, pitch is cut on and missed. Acuna out on 3 pitches. And now with 2 outs, it's up to Dansby Swanson. But Jeff, this is where Dansby has shined all year long.
Yeah, he's been able, with 2 outs, even 2 outs, 2 strikes, you'll see him a lot work a pitcher down. He actually had a good at bat that first at bat. He just threw him a good 3-2 pitch. And this is kind of what Luzardo's done. He's faced 10 batters, now got 5 strikeouts. See if he can get a hit here and break the scoring open.
That got Fortes behind the plate. Strike 1 for the Braves shortstop, who has the most hits in Major League Baseball since May 23rd. 98 to be exact. And he, like Acuna, has been a Marlins killer. That's our Synovus Get There feature.
Yeah, he's reached base safely in 32 of the 38 games. 314 average against the Fish, the 2nd highest for the NL East team since 2018.
And that's another reason why the Braves have done such good work against the Marlins in seasons past. This year, the Braves are 6-4 against Miami and have won 60 of 90 games that they've played here in the South Florida Dome, Lone Depot Park. No balls and a strike. On the ground, Rojas backhand stab, and his throw is on the money. Sharply hit, but right at the shortstop, and the Braves are out of luck in the top of the 3rd. No score in Miami, game 1.
We head to the bottom of the 3rd here in Miami. Kyle Muller back out on the bump, and if you heard Chip mention just a minute ago, has worked quite a bit with Chadwick Trump. I talked to him this morning. He said, yeah, 15 straight times in Gwinnett before this afternoon. Don't worry about that hand. He is good to go. And as far as what he has been working on, he goes, we've really tried to help his focus. And he goes, specifically, watch him in between innings. You're going to notice how he kind of sits on his own, guys. He's really trying to reset, refocus, not dwell on the past, and just worry about what's in front of him as he gets that one to fly out to center. I'm trying to do this watching the monitor here, but guys, he said, he's a perfectionist when it comes to Muller, and those guys tend to overthink things. They try to be so perfect, so fine all the time, and he goes, I'm really trying to convince him to let his defense go to work. So keep an eye on that in between innings. I've kind of been watching him, but certainly so far, he looks very locked in this afternoon, doesn't he?
Yeah, Kelly, he does. He looks a lot different. I think that, look, we talking before the game up here, it's a big start for him. He had some success last year, had a whole offseason came, and then, I was really looking forward to seeing him in Texas, and we talked about it. He had 6 walks, and I think, like anything now, he's gone back to AAA. He's been pitching every 5 days for the most part. And again, kind of like Kyle Wright did last year when he came back up this year, he learned a lot and he's having a great year. You kind of want to see that, maturity from Kyle Muller. But so far, so good.
7 up, 7 down as Peyton Burdick greets him.
In 21 pitches.
Burdick in right field here in game 2. He had a couple of hits and an RBI last night. Swing and a miss. That popped away. Trump has to hustle to the warning track and can't pick it up. Tough break. Burdick swung at a ball in the dirt. It skips away from the Atlanta catcher, and the Marlins have their first base runner after a strikeout. And a man aboard, 1 away.
You can see that went all the way, and he even waited a minute. Chadwick was able to get that ball on the first little grab. He would have had him. Tough break.
So it'll be a strikeout and a wild pitch, we presume, and that brings Luke Williams to the plate. Williams entered the game late last night, had one at bat and struck out. One thing the Marlins will do is run. They lead the major leagues in stolen bases. That challenge more difficult with a left-hander. Kyle Muller staring at them at first base. A short lead by Burdick at first. So the first time Kyle has been in the stretch here in game one of our day-night doubleheader. The first such event at Lone Depot Park. This doubleheader necessitated by the late regular season start here in 2022.
First day-night doubleheader down here at the fish tank.
Runner goes, got a good jump, and that ball hammered foul.
But I'll tell you what, if you're Don Mattingly, this is where you talk to your young hitter. He got a great jump. There's one out. One strike, I always tell you, I never got an issue when you swing, but with no strikes like that, when a guy gets a good jump, and you can see it when you're hitting, you sit there and you see it. Got to take that pitch.
Runner holds this time, and Williams late and fouls it back.
Especially for a team that's struggling to score runs.
Yeah, it's been a long time since a big league club has gone 12 in a row without scoring more than 3 runs. But that's the dry spell the Marlins are on.
Yeah, what year was it?
Like 05 Seattle.
Yeah.
And nothing across for either club after 2.5. Braves have both hits as Muller comes set with his 1-2, and again over to first. Burdick a good lead. Not going. And a swing and a miss. Kyle Muller has his second strikeout. Runner at first. 2 away in the top of the order coming up.
He's got him out front. Good pitch. Love again. I know I said it early, but these pitches are down in the zone.
And Kelly, first time through the order, no hits allowed by Kyle Muller.
No, and one more thing I wanted to add just so we can kind of keep an eye on it, and also speaking to Rick Kranitz this afternoon about what Kyle Muller's been working on. He said, you know, he's got to be able to throw the breaking ball, the slider, the curveball behind in the count for strikes. So that was kind of what I was waiting for, to see if he fell behind against that last batter, what he would do right there. But he goes, you know, he has to pitch. He can't come out here and just throw and rely on that fastball entirely. So I think we can keep an eye on that today if he does fall behind, where he goes to for his strikes.
That's a great point. You think about it. Even though he's got a great fastball, you can get away with doing it every once in a while. But, you know, when you face a team that's, you know, kind of grinding you out for at-bats like this, I think it's perfect. I think he's mixed his pitches great so far these first 3 innings and kept these Marlins hitters off balance. You can see right there, another one. 1-0 pitch, went with a slider.
That's really how the game has changed, hasn't it, Jeff?
100%. And now, you know, if you want to come back and throw that fastball, maybe you open that up, and he's late on it because of that pitch you just threw.
There it was fouled back. Now he's got him set up for whatever he wants to throw with a 1-2 count. But the point I was making, 2-1, 3-1, 20, 30 years ago, that was almost an automatic fastball count. That's not the case.
Yeah.
So let's see what Kyle does here with a ball and 2 strikes for John Birdie. Off speed, rolled, foul at third. So Birdie, with a patient approach, now has an even count. Kyle's got more in the tank than 93 if he wants to use it. He hasn't had to yet. And again to first. And Muller led the International League in strikeouts, 122 of them in 99 AAA innings.
I can see why with his off-speed stuff combined with that fastball.
Fly ball, right center. And Ronald will gallop over and puts that away. Kyle Muller has allowed no hits through 3 scoreless innings in Miami.
This baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Kaiser Permanente.
2 tough lefties off to good starts after 3 innings, no score. The Braves have the game's only 2 hits. Austin Riley's looking for one here in the 4th inning of game 1. Riley flied out to left in his first trip. Late swing and off the netting in front of the Braves dugout. Thankfully, that netting is there. It's 1-2.
Spencer Strider down there backed him off the netting a little bit.
Riley shoots that toward left, and it's down for a base hit. The Braves have their second leadoff hitter aboard, this time in the 4th inning, is Austin Riley, now with a 5-game hitting streak, as the Braves look to jump in front their second time through the order.
We can see how locked in Austin is. A lot of guys today we've seen him be way out in front of that pitch, get a swing and miss or take it. And he's with 2 strikes able to loft into left field. What a great run he's been on.
Matt Olson popped out to end the 1st inning. Tough matchup for Matt, lefty-lefty, but as you know, Olson hits southpaw pitching very well. And right now, Luzardo is corner to corner against his former teammate.
Sometimes you face those guys and you're like, okay, I played behind him. I know he likes to pitch, but he knows how my approach. You can overthink yourself sometimes. Both ways, though, too.
Another pop-up. Garrett Cooper at first. Into foul ground. Makes the play, and Olson is the first out.
He actually got away with a hanger. Luzardo gave Olson a pitch to hit on that 0-2. He was trying to bury this thing, and look, it backed up.
Proof that not every bad pitch is a bad result.
No, you're right.
For a man on the mound, here's Contreras. He struck out his first time up.
Well, this is where you'd like to see William. He's done such a better job this year of hitting the ball to right center, right field, 7 opposite field home runs. It's the perfect guy to try to shoot that way.
That one hooked over the shortstop. So first and second, one out. Braves getting better looks at Luzardo. And Contreras now 1 for 2, and Robbie Grossman the hitter.
That's the thing. If you're in straight pull mode, this is a ground ball double play. Instead, you can tell he sold out up the middle, gets a changeup. So even though it got him out in front, he was still in good enough hitting position. He's strong enough that he was able to line it into left field. And he's trying to get you to pull the ball.
First time today the Braves have had 2 runners on base in an inning. And Grossman went after that first pitch, as you suggested, on your Ford Keys, and fouled it back. Atlanta's got 4 hits so far in the game. And Grossman behind in the count. No swing. Malachi Moore is the first base umpire in game 1.
Yeah, as good as Luzardo's been, Braves had 5 chances now with runners in scoring position this game. Haven't been able to get the hit yet, but 2 chances now between him and Grissom.
Robbie looking for his second Braves RBI. Little pop, shallow center, long run. Can anybody catch up? No, the ball drops safely. Everybody's going to be safe. The bases are loaded. The ball hung up forever. Blade couldn't get to it. And a bloop hit for Robbie Grossman sets it up for the Braves. Bases loaded and 1 man out.
Well, that's the thing. This is a bigger outfield. So when your center fielder is playing deep and you get a big swing like this and it's off the end of the bat, and I'll tell you, Robbie deserves one of those. He's hit 3 or 4 balls hard that have been outs here.
Grissom lined out softly at third, his first time. And a ball in the dirt. Good take. No place to put the Braves rookie second baseman. Best chance of the day for the Braves here in the 4th inning.
Good eye. It's where you got a young hitter. Your first time up, Grissom swung at 2 or 3 pitches quick. So you're seeing Luzardo try to get him to chase. Grissom, much better job this time of that. That's what you like to see, these young hitters making the adjustments at bat to a bat. Kind of figuring out, okay, I swung at a lot of off speed. I was aggressive, so he's going to try to take advantage. Now I take this, I have a 2-0 count. I'm not saying you're going to get a fastball down the middle here, but you got to believe I'm going to get something up in the zone probably that I can handle here, and if not, take it and get to 3-0.
Pulled a string. Pretty pitch. So 2 balls and a strike for Vaughn Grissom, key man in the inning for the Braves. On the ground, slow roller. They're coming home first. That's all the Marlins get. Smart play by LeBlanc to force out Austin Riley. With Grissom's speed, no chance to get 2, so they cut off the runner at the plate. That's the second out.
Yeah, another changeup came back with it, 3 in a row. Easy play for him, coming in, throwing it to home plate. And we've seen Michael Harris the last couple weeks have some big at bats. Chance here to give the Braves a lead.
Lefty lefty though the matchup here. Way outside. Fortes, a nice stop. He's due to throw one of those far enough away that the catcher can't catch it.
Agreed.
Look at what Michael's done with the bags full. Another ball in the dirt. This time he swung at it. Braves have had some chances with runners in scoring position in the game.
1 for 7 now, I guess.
Grossman's bloop hit is that 1 hit. And he is the man at second with an even count. Another ball in the dirt, 2-1.
And you can see last time too went away to Michael, so Michael should be thinking try to hit a line drive right at the third baseman. And if he throws you that perfect pitch in, you know. See, that was a ball down.
But to your point about Kyle Muller, this guy knows how to pitch behind in the count too. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded, 2 out. And another great stop. But now he's got to throw a strike.
Well, what tells me is you saw him 2-1. He threw that changeup and got him a big swing and miss. I would imagine you might see him come back with that changeup here on 3-2. It's not getting him to chase that curveball.
Runners go. The pitch is inside, ball 4, a bases loaded walk, and Atlanta takes the lead in the 4th inning. Great patience by Michael Harris, his 37th RBI.
Well, he did, Chip. He tried to come with that changeup. That one got away from him a little bit and tailed into Michael. A good job shutting down.
So Mel Stottlemyre is the Marlins pitching coach out to calm down Luzardo, who's had a long inning. Bases still loaded, 2 are out. Chadwick Tromp will be the hitter. And before Chadwick hopefully clears the bases, let's enjoy a quick message from Zaxby's.
Try Zaxby's Chicken Finger Plate with Tongue Torch, Zax Sauce, or any of our sauces.
Now this is different. Kyle Muller 34 pitches. Now Luzardo you can see above 62. Really made him work this half inning.
And that's what you want to do with the Marlins throwing a bullpen game at the Braves in Game 2 later tonight. So there's your lead, Kyle Muller. You got a 1-0 advantage, and Trump already with a double to start his Atlanta Braves career. That came in the 3rd, and no place to put him. Hammered down the left field line and into the stands. Strike 1.
Well, he's come out swinging in his first start as an Atlanta Brave.
This is his first big league game since August 26th last year with the Giants. A 1 count.
You can see he's doing a good job. It's the 2nd time we've seen him try to come fastball in, and both times he's taken them low and in.
Lined over third, a base hit. That's going to score 2. Chadwick Tromp on his way to second. The throw will be late. A couple of doubles, and the Braves add on. It's 3-0.
What a piece, good piece of hit and changeup. Look at that. Another thing, you can see the way he laid off those fastballs in. He had the right approach, so he got a changeup. Same thing as Contreras, got him out front.
And did Trump hurt himself?
Uh-oh.
Braves have already lost Orlando Arcia on the base pass on this road trip. Arcia tore up a hamstring. Let's see what happened to Chadwick Tromp as Brian Snitker makes his way out toward second base.
Looks fine here. You know, at the very end, I don't know if you saw Williams throw that ball to second and maybe had to kick it into gear a little bit more, but we never saw anything necessarily, you know, it's not like Arcia the other night where you knew he had hurt his hamstring, Chip. This was a little different. I hate to say this could be one of those things like, look, we don't need you to run anymore, but we need you behind the plate.
And Ron Washington joins that conversation too, because if Trump stays in the game, he needs to know if he can send him in case of a base hit.
And also in this situation, that might be Wash telling him, look, unless it's a gapper, you're stopping at third base right here. Because with the catching situation right now, I hate to say it kind of trumps scoring him on this hit.
Well, what a Braves debut for Chadwick Trump. 2 doubles, 2 RBIs. The Braves have jumped on Luzardo for a 3 spot here in the 4th inning. And now we go back to the top of the order. If Ronald hits one into the seats, everybody can jog around the bases. There's Acuna 1 for 2 already in today's game. Isn't it something about this Braves team, Jeff? When they call a guy up or bring a guy in, they pay dividends. It's been remarkable.
I mean, it really has, Chris, on this road trip now. Trump with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs.
Michael Harris, Spencer Strider, Dylan Lee. I mean, the list goes on and on.
And that's, you know, to me, like I said, the difference. You bring guys up. You can see him. I don't know. It's the ankle, the quad, the hammy. You see him trying to get something loose. See if Kelly can find something out.
1-1 pitch. Did it go? Yep.
I almost feel like watching him trying to stretch when you pull it up like that, that it could be the quad instead of the hammy.
Even with the roof closed, it is muggy inside the ballpark. You wonder if might be a cramp going on. The pitch in the dirt. 2-2. Much better looks for the Braves against Luzardo the 2nd time through the order.
Well, they're laying off the off speed a lot more. See, already up to 69 pitches here in the 4th.
And an even count for Ronald. They give him the right center field gap. And shoot it across the shoe tops. And it's another deep count. 3-2 for Ronald Acuna Jr. 53 career RBIs against the Marlins.
And all day when he's had to make a pitch, we've seen him gone to that changeup.
Michael Harris, the runner at 3rd. Trump at 2nd. 2 outs. And a swing and a miss. It was the changeup. And the Braves sent 8 to the plate. 3 of them scored. Chadwick Trump, a big day in his Braves debut. It's 3-0.
To you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet. Only from Xfinity. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
Great start for the Braves in Game 1. They just got 3 runs in the 4th inning. William Contreras is out warming up Kyle Muller. Chadwick Trump is down in the tunnel behind the Braves dugout, getting checked out and perhaps putting on his catching gear. We'll see if he's able to continue, as he had some discomfort after he plated 2 runs with his 2nd double of the game in the top half of this 4th inning.
Either that or we're going to see Heredia run out with the catching gear in a minute.
But there's a good sign. He's putting the shin guards on.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to come out of a game like this. Can't blame him.
No, not after you're 2 for 2.
So, Kelly, what's the word on Chadwick's condition?
Well, I haven't really had a chance to talk to any of the coaches, which sometimes I can kind of pull them aside, you know, but honestly, this was they were all down here discussing it along with the training staff while he was underneath. But as you see him putting on his catcher's gear right here, it looks like he's going to go back out. But I did have one of the coaches point more, Frenchie, you said kind of the quad area. So I think that's what happened as we saw him just trying to sort of loosen it up as he was shaking his leg there. I think maybe just tightened up a little bit. But this is a great sign, and as soon as I can kind of chat with one of the coaches, I'll see if I can get a little more for you guys.
Yeah, we were wondering when he was at second base, when you saw him twice kind of do that stretch. Usually that's what you're trying to do. And I'm sure it's Contreras telling him, hey, take it easy. That being said, with 2 doubles, his quads are getting some work today.
Yeah, and not to mention, he and Muller are in a great rhythm.
Yep.
The first time through the Miami order. Muller's thrown strike 1 to 6 of the first 10 hitters, has not had a 3-ball count yet. And Jeff, you talked about the need for Kyle to pitch economically. 4 pitches or less to 8 of the first 10 Miami batters in this game.
You looked, and you know that report Kelly gave earlier talking about Chip in between innings. We saw him last inning come in smiling. He looks a lot more relaxed than when we saw him in Texas. I thought he was very uptight. You could see trying to be perfect. Instead today, you kind of see him. Maybe it's the softball glove.
And that thing looks like a highlight.
It's huge, isn't it?
Doesn't it? Holy cows. Miguel Rojas goes to work.
And he's a big guy, so if the glove looks big on him.
Rojas grounded out his first time up. Marlins are without a hit. They have 1 base runner. And now we'll see how Kyle pitches with a lead now. Shutdown inning. Get the Braves bats right back out there against Luzardo, leading 3-0. Up the middle, and there's the first hit. So that got too much of the plate with 2 strikes, and Rojas has his second hit of the series.
Good swing by him, about 105 off the bat. Drove it right back up the middle.
Here's Garrett Cooper. He hit that soft comebacker that ricocheted off Kyle's foot into the glove of Riley, who made the play at first to end a perfect opening inning for Muller. As we said, 12 straight games for the Marlins, 3 or fewer runs. They trail 3-0. The way they're going, it must feel like it's 8-0. But there is still a lot of baseball left here in game 1. So don't let up, Kyle. That's out of play to the right.
I think last night's game, you know, I had 2 or 3 balls that hit the wall close to being home runs. And every time, credit these Braves pitchers, they were able to keep them at bay. Thought last night the momentum really changed when Birdie led off that inning off Tyler Matzik. Was at the bottom of the 7th, I think. Yeah, with the double, and then got thrown out trying to steal third.
1 ball, 2 strikes for Garrett Cooper. Rojas has a good lead. Not going. And strike 3 at the belt, right down Brickell Avenue. 3rd strikeout for Muller. 1 on, 1 out.
At top part of the zone, you almost get the feeling there Cooper was looking for something else.
Well, you get the ball on the ground here, you like your chances to get a double play. Although Aguilar lined out to center, it chased Michael Harris to the warning track. Rojas dancing around at first base, but no trouble for Kyle Muller. Strike 1. The transformation of Kyle is obvious. Down in Texas, he had nothing he could go to throw strike 1 or strike 3. Today, knock on wood, he's got everything. Brian Snitker has said it many a time. When a kid gets to the big leagues as a pitcher, some stick and never have to go back. Some do.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily the worst thing for them.
Well, you talked to Snit. I think one of his favorite examples of that is A.J. Minter last year. He was mad, did not want to go to AAA, which totally understand. Nobody does. But he went down there, he pitched, he worked for what, 3-4 weeks when he came back, and since then he's been a completely different guy. And a huge part of that pen.
1-2 pitch. And an even more recent example is Kyle Wright.
Yeah.
Last year, Kyle went back, pitched, what, 120 innings or so at AAA, knew he was going to go every 5 days, and figured out what he was and what he wasn't. And all Kyle Wright has done is go 14-5 for the Braves this year. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Aguilar, the DH. He needs to make a pitch. Don't want to bring the tying run to the plate. J.J. Bleday, the center fielder, waits next. Rojas, another quarter step on that lead from first. Fly ball, well hit down the line, and it is gone. A 2-run homer for Aguilar. Home run number 14 for Jesus Aguilar, and the Marlins get back in the game. It's now a 3-2 Braves lead.
Yeah, that one kind of hung. You see a spinner and a good hitter like Aguilar, strong. Stays, but this is where you want to see. Look, Kyle Muller's still got the lead, 3-2. You've been pitching good. Do not let that affect what you're going to do. Come right back, make pitches. The way he's throwing, he's still very much in control of this ball game. You made one mistake. That's where you want to see him learn. Don't let this snowball on you.
That is foul at first for J.J. Bleday. He hit the ball hard and lined out to Ronald in his first trip to the plate. So a hit with 2 strikes to Rojas. Cooper struck out. Aguilar homers to left. And we've got a 3-2 score here in the 4th inning. Trop still flexing that leg as he stands up after getting hit with that foul ball. Home run 107 in the career of Jesus Aguilar here today. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch. Second strikeout of the inning, and 2 are out.
Beautiful job coming back. Quality pitches. That's the pitch he was trying to throw to Aguilar. Like you said, one floated on you, but came back and made a nice pitch, and 2 outs.
And Fortes, the hitter, he lined out to right.
0-2 count to 6 of the first 14 batters he's faced tonight.
And one of your keys, no walks for Kyle Muller in the game to this point. 1-0 pitch. That fastball boring in on the shins of the Marlins catcher. He couldn't catch up to it. And now Kyle a strike away from ending the inning. Kyle will try again with a 2-2 count. Cortez backing up Gold Glover Jacob Stallings. We'll see him in the nightcap, which starts at 7:10. Another 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. He struck out the side, and Jeff, as you said, nice way to come back after the 2-run homer.
Yeah, you love to see that. That's a sign of maturity.
5 strikeouts for Kyle Muller. The Braves. Here in the 5th inning, enjoying a 3-2 lead. The MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Truist Park. Buy and manage your game tickets, unlock offers, access exclusive content, and more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Braves really worked over Luzardo in the 4th inning. He threw 31 pitches. He gave up 3 runs. And this is the tough part of the order for the Braves. 2, 3, and 4 as we've reached the midway point of game 1 of our doubleheader today.
Now, this is where you hope maybe you can throw the knockout punch, put a couple more here and get to that bullpen.
The Braves have won 3 in a row. They've evened up their record on this long 3-city trip. 4 wins, 4 losses. We picked up a game last night as the Phillies knocked off the Mets 2-1. So the Braves start play today 6 games behind New York and with a 3-game winning streak. 4 coming up with the Mets at home beginning Monday night. We hope you'll join us. And if you can't make it to the ballpark, we'll have all 4 of those games for you on our Bally Sports family of networks. Good take. Don't know how this at bat's going to turn out, but boy, you love how Dansby fights with 2 strikes.
This is where I think both agree where he's come such a long ways. What's made him go to that next level. And you can see what you do when you do that. You just saw that pitch, Luzardo, that you frustrate a hitter or a pitcher. Says, I'm making quality pitches. He keeps fouling it off. Now it gets back to 3-2. We've seen him all day again. 3-2 changeup to Dansby, struck him out. Same thing to Acuna. See if he goes back to it here.
What an at bat. Swanson got the 2 strikes, instead takes a leadoff walk. And you can see the frustration to your point on Luzardo's face. As Austin Riley is coming up, he's 1 for 2. He's also our Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. He and the Braves are rolling on the road.
Yeah, they've been on a nice run. Dodgers and Phillies are the only teams with better records on the road since July 1st.
And as we said, you always like your Braves' chances in this ballpark. No offense to the Marlins, but the numbers are what they are. The Braves have played 90 games in this ballpark and have won 60 of them. We lead 3-2 in the 5th today. You can see why this guy's so tough. He's got a good fastball, but a 49% whiff rate on the changeup, a 39% whiff rate on the curveball.
Yeah.
And he throws in the low to mid 90s. But the Braves have bested Luzardo to this point with big blow Chadwick Trump's second double that scored 2 runs in the Atlanta 3-run fourth. Back to the mound. Luzardo fires a strike, 4-1 and a double play. So that lessens the load for the Marlins left-hander. 2 outs, base is empty, and Matt Olson coming up.
Yeah, got this one off the end of the bat here. Made a good throw, easy double play ball.
Marlins shift with 2 outs for Olson. Interesting note on Jesus Luzardo. He's an historic figure in Major League Baseball. He's the first man born in Peru to pitch in the major leagues.
Wow.
Or play in the major leagues for that matter. His parents are from Venezuela, but he was born in Peru. And he quick pitched Olson there and missed. Ball 1.
Matt's 0 for 2 so far today, but he's got some good swings so far off of Luzardo.
The most pitches Luzardo's thrown this year is 98. That was back on May the 5th. This is only his 3rd start since May the 10th. 3-1 to the left-hand hitting Braves first baseman. Swing and a shot hammered toward left. Williams on the run at the track, at the wall, in opposite field, home run. Matt Olson with a thunderbolt extends the Braves lead. It's 4-2.
Well, that's what happens. You lay off all that off speed, you get yourself a 3-1 count. Luzardo did not want to walk him. And he comes with a fastball, and after 2 high pop-ups, his first 2 at-bats, Matt Olson drives this one in the left field stands. Look at that, perfect swing, and that big power he's got the other way.
4th homer for Matt against a left-handed pitcher, 27th RBI, and that's a little more breathing room for Kyle Muller and the Braves. 4-2. Atlanta has its first homer of the day, courtesy of Matt Olson.
And that's what this offense for Atlanta can do. We showed the stat last night how balanced it is with the RBIs through the lineup, top to bottom. Luzardo, if you've watched this game now, has thrown a pretty darn good game. He's racked up some strikeouts, but yet here he is still in the 5th inning, almost 90 pitches, and he's given up 4 runs.
That's what makes the Braves such an intriguing team. Where do you go to get outs?
And that's what, talking to some of the hitters the last few days, they said, look, that's what the Mets were able to do to us that last weekend, and something they were really going to try to work on and would like to do to them when they come back to Truist Park.
So as the pitch count piling up for Luzardo, the Marlins bullpen begins to work. Jeff Brigham begins to play catch. 2-2, 2 outs. Popped up. Cooper in foul ground will make the grab right in front of the netting, and that will retire the side. Matt Olson has a 4-game hitting streak, a line drive homer the other way against Jesus Luzardo. The Braves extend their lead midway through game 1. It's 4-2. Muller is leading in his 10th big league start, 4-2, and he has enjoyed his second big league start a whole lot more, Jeff, than his first. That's the Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard.
Well, you don't walk guys and you go after him, have the stuff that he has. Again, you're watching him pitch with, to me, a lot more confidence than what we saw back in Texas.
He's got the lower third for the Marlins. Charles LeBlanc out of Laval, Quebec.
It's a pretty good little accent you did there.
1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. This young man's done good work hitting .410. In fact, he's reached base in all 11 big league games he's played this year. For Miami, and fouled away. 1-2. Laval, Quebec, about 40 miles away from Montreal, where the old Expos used to play. Muller just struck out the side in the 4th inning, goes back to work. And a line drive into right field. LeBlanc has a base hit. Acuna cuts it off. And Charles aboard with his first hit of the day. And the tying run will come to the plate.
That took your head a little bit there. That was a good approach by LeBlanc.
Muller's got to get through 5 for a chance to win his 3rd big league game today. He leads 4-2. And Peyton Burdick is the hitter. He struck out, but reached first when the ball bounced away from Chadwick Tromp. Good cut. Back to the screen. Strike 1.
When I love coming with that fastball. Sometimes, you know, that off-speed stuff starts to work. We saw, I feel like Luzardo kind of fall in love with that changeup and not throw the fastball enough. And you can see sometimes you start seeing it too much. Hitters can sit on it.
Runner goes, got a good jump. Pitch high. Tromp's throw is into center field. And LeBlanc will move to 3rd with a steal and a throwing error. So that 3rd steal for LeBlanc.
That ball just sailed on him from the very beginning. There was no chance for Grissom to get this ball.
So an RBI chance for Burdick. Runner at 3rd. 1-1 count. Nobody out. Ball 2. So here's a rarity. Muller has a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Burdick, the 8th place hitter. And he lost him. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Luke Williams struck out his first time up. Muller got a little fine there with the Marlins right fielder. Rick Kranitz will make his way to the mound here with the tying runs aboard here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Luke Williams, the 9th place hitter, is coming up. But first, a quick word from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
So the meeting over. Jackson Stevens starts to warm up for the Braves. Luke Williams is the hitter. Braves will trade a run for a double play. Perfect world, you get a strikeout here. And that's what Williams did in the Miami third inning. Marlins runs came in the fourth inning. A two-run homer from Jesus Aguilar. The Braves got 3 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth.
Guarantee that's what Kranitz went out kind of told Kyle. Look, this is where you limit damage here. Get a ground ball double play. Yeah, you'll trade the run for 2 outs.
Two ground ball outs for Muller, 5 strikeouts. Line to third. Snap throw back to first and a double play. Burdick wandered too far and a great laser beam throw from Riley for the double dip.
That is stuff I'm telling you cannot teach. Watch this right here. This is instincts. Caught it, looked him back, and I mean didn't even waste any time, threw it over there. If he waits even just a tick longer to see where he's at, he just throws it knowing Matt Olson's going to be at first base and gets a huge double play. Oh, that was huge.
So Muller 1 out away from getting out of this 5th inning mess. John Birdie, the batter, 0 for 2. So a couple of base running mistakes have really haunted the Marlins in this series. This time Burdick doubled up and fouled at the plate. (4-2) Braves lead. Dansby handles the short hop, flip to first, and the inning is over. Kyle Muller is through 5 with a 4-2 lead. A great double play takes the Marlins out of a chance to draw closer. Riley with a cannon to first, and we go to the 6th.
Is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, Delta Airlines, keep climbing, and by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Well, a great start for Kyle Muller today. 5 innings of 2-run, 3-hit baseball in his second start, Jeff. As we've said a couple of times, the improvements noticeable from that May 1st game he pitched against the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, a lot better, and definitely love seeing the adjustments, love seeing him go after guys more, and whether he comes back out or not, I think it's a step in the right direction for him.
73 pitches in his 5 innings. He's qualified for the win. The Braves have chased Jesus Luzardo, and now Jeff Brigham is on. This is his 5th game of the season for Miami.
And his last 3 appearances, 2 innings or more each time, so they're going to try to get a little bit of length out of him.
Robbie Grossman pops the first one up, almost into the rafters here. And the grab made by Fortes for out number 1. It's always fun to see a team do what it does at the trading deadline, and sometimes it isn't an immediate return when those transactions are made. Jeff Brigham is an example of that. He came over from the Dodgers in 2015 in a trade that involved Matt Latos. Remember Matt?
Yeah, and Mike Morse. Straight cash.
So Jeff Brigham, who's been scored upon in 2 of his last 3 outings. He's been a multi-inning man for Miami. In fact, he's allowed 4 earned runs in his last 7 innings. So let's add on here. Braves have a 4-2 lead in game 1. Vaughn Grissom reached in the 4th inning and scored on Chadwick Trump's 2-run double. And as we said, the Gwinnett Stripers and the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp see each other in AAA competition. So for Grissom, this ought not be a complete strange at bat. Might have run into Brigham a time or two in AAA.
I was going to say, for some of these guys, like you said, facing each other a lot, they can actually help some of these big league guys, let them know what they have, what they look like.
Grissom looking for the Braves' 8th hit. But it's not to be. Chased ball off the plate, and Brigham has his first strikeout. And Michael Harris, the hitter, a key play in the 3-run 4th. Michael took a bases-loaded walk for the game's first run.
Yeah, laid off a tough changeup that just moved in on him. It's a big league at bat, set up that double by Trump to get the other two and kind of break it open.
Lance Barksdale's had a good day behind the plate. Correctly called that one outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Ronald Acuna Jr., the last rookie of the year for the Braves. Harris might follow in those footsteps. He and Spencer Strider, leading candidates in the National League. Let's see if he's turned loose 3-0. Chadwick Trump, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, is on deck. Line drive into right field. That's headed for the corner and the wall. Look at Harris flying around first. On his way to second. He is going to slam on the brakes. Michael Harris with a 2-out double. His 13th double of the year. And Trump a chance for a 3 or 4 RBI game now.
Just does something productive every time. Here's a 3-1 pitch on the inner half. Pulls the hands in beautifully. And of course you love it. He's forcing the issue, going 3 all the way, and until that ball came back quick to right field, then he calmed down and stopped at second. But you love the hustle right out of the box.
Well, Chadwick Trump, as we said, making up for lost time in the major leagues. His last big league game last August with the San Francisco Giants. He's had a great debut as a Brave. 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. 19 major league hits, 5 homers for Chadwick Trump. As a member of the Giants,
2 doubles today. Likes the extra base hits. They used to say, if you're going to get a few hits, just make them count. He's done that.
That's what has also been so fun about this Braves lineup. Number 9 hitters now with 69 RBIs this season for the Braves offense. That's the most in the major leagues. As this one is chopped up the middle, and Trump hobbling as he tries to make his way to first base. That looked like it hurt. So the Braves out of luck in the 6th inning. Harris a 2-out double. We'll see if Trump can continue in a 4-2 Atlanta game.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Yamaha Boats and Wave Runners and by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
To the bottom of the sixth we go. The 2, 3, 4 hitters are coming up for the Marlins here in game one of our doubleheader. Fans, become a Braves insider and get the latest video highlights, up-to-date news, features, ticket specials, and more, all delivered free to your inbox wherever you might be. Sign up today at braves.com/newsletters. 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs for Kyle Muller. Jeff, your thoughts on how he did in his second big league start this year?
Look, I think as he gets going, I think he could have probably gone out there and got through another inning. I love how he was able to battle through. Again, 11 of 19 first pitch strikes, got a lot better. And only 2 3-ball counts for him today. So he looked a lot more relaxed, looked in control. One of the big ones for me was he gave up that 2-run home to Aguilar and came back the home run and got 2 strikeouts.
So he's in line to pick up the win for the Braves. But Jackson Stevens goes to work here in the 6th inning. He'll face Rojas, Cooper, and Aguilar. Mentioned last night, Braves have 2 multi-inning relievers in their bullpen. Colin McHugh is one, Jackson Stevens is the other. In fact, if you look at Jackson's last 4 outings, he's gone more than an inning in 3 of them. His last 8 innings, Stevens has given up 2 runs. 2 earned runs, that is. And his job here, get this game to the 8th with the Braves in front. Miguel Rojas, the shortstop, laid off. And it's an even count. Stevens is averaging an inning and a third per game. That's the 5th highest rate among National League relievers, with a minimum of 20 innings. And his first inning today, Jeff, is off to a good start.
Absolutely. Great pitch. Look at the depth of this breaking ball. Starts it right on the outside corner and just never gets there.
1 up, 1 down for Garrett Cooper. Cooper is 0 for 2. Cooper missed 10 games with a stint on the injured list. He's 6 for his last 63 at the plate. So knock on wood, Cooper has struggled to find his timing after that injury intermission.
And he got off to a great start. I mean, he's still hitting .271 this year, so.
One and 2. In the air to left field, that's down for a 2-strike hit. So Cooper, a soft single to left, and now Aguilar will come up representing the tying run. He has a 2-run homer already today. Before Stevens faces him, here's a quick word from Bank of America. Long homer for Aguilar in the 4th inning, his 14th. And the plate but low.
You got to give Aguilar a lot of credit through all the injuries and guys leaving the lineup. He's kind of been that one constant for Don Mattingly. Not having necessarily the perfect year he's wanted to, but he posts. And by far one of the most colorful players in the game.
Certainly against the Braves, we've seen that. He and Ozzie Albies have such a playful banter on the field.
And there's not much of a size difference in those two
not
either.
At all. They go toe to toe. As J.J. Bleday is the next hitter. Stevens has fallen behind Aguilar. Don't give him any walks here. The pitch, but he did just that. A single and a base on balls, and the Marlins bring the go-ahead run to the plate. Jackson not happy about that as he slams the rosin bag down. And Bleday facing a right hand pitcher now. Jackson Stevens, he's 0 for 2 on the day and hitless so far in the series.
See if they go with that fastball up, kind of running away. It's been the one spot we've seen Bleday swing and miss quite a bit.
Cue shot toward third. Riley steps on the bag. Long throw across and in time. Austin Riley, have yourself a day at the hot corner. Bleday hits one off the end of the bat. Riley steps on the pillow, and a toss across sends us to the 7th inning. 4-2 Atlanta. Everything working for the Braves in game 1 of our doubleheader here at Lone Depot Park. This here in Miami, there are the Eastern standings up to the moment. Phillies are playing great. They're only 3.5 games behind the Braves. We'll have Ronald Acuna Jr. leading off the 7th inning here in game 1.
And Marlins put some guys on again like they did last night right here with the heart of the lineup up. You'd love to see a couple insurance runs here. Make it a little easier to navigate the last 9 outs.
Ronald 1 for 3 today, a first inning single. One more note on that game that Lauren was speaking of a moment ago. Max Scherzer started that game for the Mets and they didn't win it.
Well, he did his part. Phillies are pushing all the right buttons right now, playing good baseball.
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody on or out. Another great matchup in Flushing tonight. It's Aaron Nola for the Phillies, Jacob deGrom for the Mets. Full count.
You got to believe runs are going to be at a premium in that game. At least if deGrom looks anything like he did last Sunday against us.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball the other way. Ronald Acuna Jr. has a multi-hit game. That's the kind of approach, Jeff, that got him going on the road trip against the Mets.
Well, and with 2 strikes, you know, they're giving you that whole line, and it looks like he doesn't hit it hard, but it goes to show you 106 off the bat. You know, for him, you love that approach. Just shoot it through that hole. Same thing with this next guy. You look where the shift is, where Birdie's playing him. You got the whole right side again. I mean, you could do the same thing, and all of a sudden you got first and third.
And now with a right-hander on the mound, you think about Ronald doing some damage on the base paths. He's got 24 steals. Braves fans making noise in South Florida. And it has been great seeing Braves country turn out this entire road trip in New York, in Boston, and here in Miami. And can't wait for big crowds beginning Monday night with the Mets in town at Truist Park. Ronald started, stumbled, and has to scramble back. Dansby walked last time up. He's looking for his first hit. They give him the right side of the infield. And pulled foul. It's an even count.
Yeah, Braves fans in Boston, they were everywhere up there at Fenway. Look behind our dugout here today, all you see is red.
Braves are playing their second doubleheader in a week. Game number 9 on this 11-game road trip. Ronald's running. Good jump. Pitch a ball. Throw to second is not in time. Acuna does swipe a base. Number 25 on the year.
It's such a good job, too, of not only getting a good jump, but here, watch him go to that left side of the bag and sneak that left hand in. I mean, that's a good throw right here. Look how he kind of goes around Birdie and he's able to get that left hand in and then hold the bag. And great job by Dansby. Took the pitch, let him steal the bag, and now you trust yourself with 2 strikes to get the job done.
It's an even count. Braves so far today 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position. The Marlins in the series are 1 for 17. That is why the Braves lead.
And this is only the second game of 4. That's how many chances they had last night. The Braves were able to make the pitches.
Dansby way ahead in the count here. 3 balls and a strike. And he takes ball 4. 2 are aboard for Austin Riley, and a chance for a big number right here with a 30-homer man coming up with nobody out.
My apologies. I thought they called a strike on that ball that Ronald stole on, but they balled it. So again, like we said, now this is the part of the order you want up here, a chance to really blow this game wide open.
Riley has a 4th inning single today. That gives him a 5-game hitting streak. He's knocked in 5 runs during this latest hot run at the plate. Austin with 74 runs batted in. Riley tied for 8th in the major leagues with those 74 runs batted in. Two on, nobody out. Oh, driven out of play right side. Foul.
Austin got a good pitch to go on that one. It was kind of a spinner. Oh.
Aaron Judge leads everyone in Major League Baseball with 100 RBIs. Pete Alonso has 96.
Judge has also got 46 long balls.
What a year for the Yankee. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Riley 4th in the majors with his 30 home runs. Only Kyle Schwarber has hit more among National League players. Schwarber, though, has a calf problem. So maybe Riley can move a homer closer right here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Another hanger, in Austin fouled it away.
He does that one again. I don't know if he's going to get this next one back.
Yeah, it might get loud.
Yeah.
That's what's been so fun to watch with Riley. Even his outs are hit hard. This guy barrels up more baseballs than anybody on the team. They're very deep and straight away with nobody out. That's what else has been fun for Riley too, Jeff. He's not over anxious.
No, and look, you got a pitcher out there who they're fouling you off. They see everything they're taking. It's so tough because now he feels like I got to throw the perfect pitch. This thing's going to get loud. And what does he do? He ends up giving up a base hit, walking a guy. Now it's 3-2.
Swing and a miss. Up in the zone, Riley underneath. And there's the first out here in the top of the 7th.
Now that's the old backup curveball we talked about that sometimes ends up being a pitcher's best friend. Riley recognized it. He was ready for it. It just never came down.
Matt Olson has a homer today. Matt Olson's homered in back-to-back games in this series in Miami. 2 on, 1 out.
Both those home runs. Drove one to the right center gap last night, and then today, of course, off Luzardo to the left center gap.
So Matt Olson looking to add to his RBI total here. Trying to make it 3 homers in the series. 0-2. Don't want to let a chance like this slip through your fingers, not with this part of the lineup. Contreras will follow Olson, who's behind 0-2. And that's fought off foul. Our T-Mobile coverage cam is the power of Matt Olson here at Lone Depot Park.
There's that one last night into the ivy. There's the fastball that he let get deep a little bit on the outside, drove it right into the old Clevelander out there in left field that's no more. It's a hair club now.
No balls, 2 strikes. That's an interesting name for a ballpark club.
Yeah.
Blazing speed aboard for the Braves. Acuna the lead runner at second. Dansby Swanson at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good at bat. He's run it full. Matt Olson, as we've told you several times on the road trip, leads the team in walks. He is not just a slugger. Let's see how Ryan Snitker plays it. with a 3-2 count. Runners hold the pitch. Strike three outside corner. Olson didn't like that. He thought he earned ball 4, and Lance Barksdale rung him up.
Now, we talked all night, all this afternoon. Lance Barksdale, I thought, had a good strike zone. This one right here, to me, is off the plate, and it was kind of up in the zone. Tough call for Matt.
It's not like Brigham's been pounding the strike zone, so
yeah,
pitcher got a big break, and now it takes a 2-out hit if the Braves are to add on here in the 7th. First pitch popped up right side and out of play. Hopefully the Braves will add on here in the 7th. When we get to the stretch, it's presented by Synovus. Lauren and Nick are back in our Atlanta studios. The interesting story today, the second start of the season for Kyle Muller, who went 5 innings and allowed 2 runs and is in line to pick up the win. Contreras, the Braves' designated hitter. And he's behind 0-2. Brigham trying to pitch out of a 2-on, nobody out mess here in the 7th. Jesus Luzardo started for Miami. He went 5 innings, gave up 4 runs, including a Matt Olson home run. He's on the short end of the decision to this point. Ian Anderson will pitch the nightcap for the Braves. The Marlins with a bullpen game. Here it's a 1-2 count and popped up back toward us. Braves are looking for their 10th hit of the day. They lead 4-2. And now the 1-2 pitch. Acuna takes off. Check swing back to the mound. And that will end the inning and send us to the stretch. The Braves enjoy a 4-2 lead in Game 2 of the series. Lauren and Nick take it away back in Atlanta. Job with the stretch. Jackson Stevens will begin his 2nd inning following Kyle Muller. Jackson has the 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters for Miami in the home half of the 7th. That's Nick Fortes, Charles LeBlanc, and Peyton Burdick for the Fightin' Fish, who have 2 runs on 4 hits in today's game. To center, Harris drifting back. He's gone as far as he can and up against the wall. He takes care of Fortes for out number 1.
Had it the whole time. I don't know if he thought he got it or not. The way Harris went after that ball first, I thought it was out of here. He got it right up against the wall. Sent dead center.
Here's LeBlanc. He's 1 for 2. On the ground to Dansby. Tricky hop, stayed with it, and a sure two-handed grab, and quickly Stevens has 2 outs in the 7th. Here's an example of all that hard work with Ron Washington. That drill and how Dansby caught the ball is what they do hundreds of times before every game.
Yeah, so, you know, on something like that, you can either come get it, really kind of go through it. On that one, I thought smart move by him to wait, but you do that. He's comfortable with that, puts a good throw. This has been nice here. 3 pitches, 2 quick outs. Something we talked about with the bullpen, if you could save as much as you could in a doubleheader.
Peyton Burdick has walked, made a base running mistake, and was doubled off first in the 5th inning. He struck out and reached on a wild pitch versus Kyle Muller in the 3rd. And Jackson Stevens quickly ahead 0-2. Long winding road for Jackson Stevens with Cincinnati and Milwaukee, now the Braves in the big leagues, and Atlanta found him in the Mexican League. And he has done terrific work in games just like this. And with the limitations that managers have, only 13 pitchers allowed on your 26-man roster, guys that can go multiple innings are hugely important. And as I said, the Braves have 2 of them in Stevens and Colin McHugh.
Yep.
Rick Kranitz has to be pleased with Kyle Muller. As Jeff mentioned, through 4 pitches or fewer to 12 of the 19 hitters he saw today. Very efficient. The 1-2 pitch. Let's also not forget Chadwick Trump behind the plate. He's playing hurt. Some sort of a quad issue flared up in the early innings of this game, and he is hanging in there.
I was going to say, give him a lot of credit. He's grinding through the rest of this game.
Trying to go a hard 9 today. The pitch is high, full count. Don't want to walk him. Luke Williams is on deck. Struck him out at the knees. Jackson Stevens struck out the first hitter he faced. He struck out the last hitter he faced in a scoreless 7th. We go to the 8th inning. For his 2nd appearance in the series, he worked the 9th inning last night and gave up a hit. As you see, good work against the Braves in 16 career games. This is number 38 overall this year for Miami. And he'll face Grossman, Grissom, and Michael Harris as the Braves look to extend a 4-2 lead.
I saw Blyer come in and pitch last night.
Marcel Iglesias has gotten up in the Braves bullpen. Looks like he'll follow Jackson Stevens, who worked 2 scoreless innings. And Grossman takes a called strike. Robbie has a hit. He scored a run. Braves continue to do good work against left-handed starting pitching. The Braves entered play today 26-12 when a southpaw opposes them in a starting assignment.
I think they've done a good job too. They've hit them well, but they also make them work. So like you said, sometimes they're able to get to that pin early. Go to work against them.
Yeah, 31 pitch 4th inning really took some of the steam out of Luzardo, who started terrifically for Miami. So that 2nd time through the order paid dividends for the Braves. They got 3 of their 4 runs In inning number 4, Olson's solo homer in the 5th. And that's where we stand. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Braves, 2 runs, 4 hits for Miami. Grossman is going to have a 2-hit day. Anyway, Robbie. So a chance to add on. Didn't hit it hard, but put it in play. And there's a start in the Braves' 8th. And Vaughn Grissom's coming up.
Well, Grossman, a couple knocks against lefties today. Exactly what they brought him here to do.
Vaughn Grissom has scored a run in 3 straight big league games for the Braves. It's been a long time since a rookie's done that in his first 3. This one back to the mound, and a high throw to second will erase Grossman for the first out. The last Brave to score a run in his first 3 major league games, old-time fans will remember Andres Thomas.
Oh yeah,
who played for Atlanta back in September of 1985. So Grissom trades places with Grossman. Let's see if he does some running. As Michael Harris stands in. Small crowd at Lone Depot Park for game 1, 7,308. The paid gate. They'll clear everybody out and get things set for a 7:10 start for game 2.
Michael doing a good job shutting down on that inside pitch. We saw him take a few from Luzardo. One for a bases loaded walk. Really get that ball out over the plate where he can get extension.
Flyers usually around the plate. He made 25 appearances before he issued his first walk. That'll make a manager happy when you come in and throw strikes in relief. Lefty here with the Braves kid center fielder. The pitch. Deuce is wild for Michael Harris. And he took a shot at left. That would have been fun.
Yeah, seen 2 young guys take off on that one.
Blanc takes a step or 2 a little closer to the third base line after that close miss with 2 strikes. And fouled away again. Boy, Fortes has taken some punishment behind the plate.
I said he's going to get an afternoon off. Well deserved. Cold tub.
Hope you're enjoying our Saturday matinee in Miami. A nightcap to follow with Ian Anderson. He's in position right now to win their 4th straight game. Little tapper. That is going to spin foul.
Yeah, that's what we saw Michael Harris do last night. Kind of keep fouling it off until the pitcher makes a mistake.
Way to go, Michael. 2-2. We can see the point of contact on the lacquer of that bat.
Yeah.
See if he can barrel one up here and leave another mark. The pitch. Hit it sharply, but to second. Tricky hop. There's one, and the throw to first is in time.
Ooh, I don't know.
Braves might take a look at this. Walt Weiss will sprint to the phone and see if the Braves want to review this.
Yeah, they might.
The Marlins are walking off. They think they got Harris on a bang-bang play. Let's see if Snit goes to the video. And Walt Weiss says go ahead and check it.
And Snit said no.
Safe or out?
Ooh, I think he's safe.
Atlanta is challenging the out call at first
I think
base.
he might be safe. And Snit was frustrated. It was taking a little bit, but so tough on the, you know, that's the hard thing. You get 10, 15 seconds to do it. You want a couple angles. But I think this one's going to be overturned, Chip. Now you've seen the Marlins players walk back on the field, which usually tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, they're taking a look at the replays on their video scoreboard in right center field.
After
a low
review,
third
the call is
camera angle.
overturned. The runner is safe.
Yeah.
Atlanta retains their challenge.
So the Braves do challenge, and the call is overturned as Harris, hustling down the line, keeps the inning alive for Chadwick Trump, who has 2 doubles and 2 RBIs.
That's the little things you love about Harris like that, though, the hustle to beat that out. Now, if Trump's able to gap one here, you get a run. And if not, you at least flip that lineup over to the 9th to have Ronald leading off.
That's a chopper foul. Wash will wave that one by. Strike 1 for the Braves catcher. Always want to make a good first impression. I think it's safe to say Chadwick Trump has done that on a lot of levels in game 1.
More than just the hitting, just toughing this one out behind the plate.
Harris takes off. First move and the throw. Not in time. He got to the bag. He outran the pickoff. And Harris stays perfect in stolen bases. He's 13 for 13.
Yeah, he got him, but this throw to the inside part of the bag, and as you can see, way to the inside of the bag by Cooper.
So now a single gets you a gift run. A 1 count.
Well, after seeing him run a little bit, though, this ball's going to have to be a single to the outfield. I don't think we're going to see an infield single right here.
That's what Bobby used to say every time the pitchers would make contact. Remember him?
Slow down.
Go easy.
Yep.
Trump playing on one leg here in game 1. The 2-strike pitch. Back our way. Foul. Hope the skipper's doing great. You know, he's watching this game back in Atlanta. Braves are going for win number 69 here in game 1. They're 68 and 46 on the season. Picked up a game on the Mets in the divisional race last night. The pitch. Swing, shot down the left field line. That ball is fair. Chadwick Trump on one leg has singled home Michael Harris. A 3 RBI game for Trump. That's the best he could do, Jeff, was just put it in play and get to first base. And Atlanta adds on. It's a 5-2 game.
Look at that. You gotta love it. Family loving it. This ball was ripped right down the line. He would have had a 3rd double had he been able to run. And he just jogged down to first.
So the little things.
Yep.
Not putting your head down and pouting. Michael Harris busted down the line, beat the play at first to keep the inning alive.
And then steals and tacks on another run.
It's a 5-2 game. Here's Ronald up and away to him. 1 ball, no strikes. Bookend singles for the Braves leadoff man. Michael Harris scores his first run of the day. 8 and 9 again on the lineup, getting it done for Atlanta in game 1.
You know, I hate to say it, if you're Ronald here, you got to be thinking, I need to clear this one over the wall right here and make it easy on Trump. I think a base hit, obviously the outfield, he can get to second base, but Not much more than that.
On the ground, LeBlanc will have the easy peg at second, and that will retire the side. Welcome to Atlanta, Chadwick Trump. 3 hits, 3 RBIs out of the 9-hole. For the Braves so far in game 1, leading 5-2 entering the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's take a look, Jeff, at our All-State mayhem moments of the game. There have been a lot of terrific plays on defense.
Well, this was huge. 4-2, first and third. You felt like that was a pivotal point. Huge double play, and then this one right here with first and second, 1 out in the 6th for Jackson Stevens. Austin Riley, 2 double plays. Now you got it where you want. 5-2, and Raisel Iglesias coming on in for the 8th. And this is where we've talked about he can go multiple innings. So this might be a scenario where you pitch him 2 innings here, knowing, okay, you're going to burn him the first game, but you get him. And if you can, maybe he goes 2 innings for you. You've only used really 2 guys because Kyle Muller's the 27th man today.
Well, Raisel Iglesias has 37 saves of 4 or more outs. That is the most in the major leagues.
They didn't quite do it as much with the Angels, but in the Reds back in the day, we saw him a lot come in for more than 1 inning saves.
So Jackson Stevens, 2 scoreless innings with a couple of strikeouts. Joey Wendell, the Marlins pinch hitter, starting the home 8th. Wendell, Berti, and Rojas for the Fish, who again have scored but twice in this game. Braves are trying to hand them their 13th consecutive game where they've scored 3 or fewer. Boy, Iglesias has good stuff, and he works at a lightning pace.
And what a great opportunity for him between the Reds, the Angels. Never really been on any sort of playoff push. 2020 COVID shortened season he was with the Reds, but
Wendell with a 2-strike knock into right field. Acuna, nice play, slams on the brakes. Here's the throw to second. It's on the money, and they got it. What a play by Acuna in the right field corner.
Wow. Great hustle, was able to get it on 1 hop and threw a strike.
Wendell wants the Marlins to check it out.
And looks like the Marlins are going to challenge this. Changeup that he got out front. Was able to plant those feet so quick.
Looked like Dansby got him on the back of the foot. So the Marlins will challenge the call at second. For the moment, Wendell is out. As you said, Jeff, great hustle. The key, though, that was an instinctive play for Ronald. He trusted the knee and was able to stop on the turf, spin, and throw a bullet to get Wendell. At least that's the initial call.
99.1 on the throw from Ronald, being able to stop quick. I don't know, this is going to be close. Seen a couple angles too here at the park.
Again, clear and convincing evidence is the standard to overturn the call at second. It went the Braves' way on the field. But what a great play by Acuna to even make it that close.
Threw a strike. And he put it right where the only place that you even have a chance to get it, right on the bag.
As we've said, for Ronald Acuna Jr. on this road trip, it's all coming together for him. He is looking like himself. Looks like the verdict is about to be delivered to Ted Barrett, the crew chief, and Lance Barksdale, the home plate umpire. Here we go. Here's the call.
After review, the call stands. The runner is out. The Marlins lose their challenge.
Great throw by Acuna. Wendell is erased. Single, 9-6 put out, and put a star on that, baby.
Yeah, what makes this is the ability to stop. And when you have a strong arm like that, a lot of guys can only, you know, on the run be able to do it. Right here, he stops, and even flat-footed, having that arm strength. Like I said, he put it right on the money.
And a heck of a play by Dansby, too. For a middle infielder to stick his nose in there with a ball and base runner arriving at the same time. Yep. Atlanta's defense in game 1 today has shined indeed. So Acuna with a couple of hits and a great throw. That's the first out, and John Berti the batter. High strike. It's 1-2. Berti was thinking the count was in his favor. That was called a strike, as he's surprised when he talks to Lance Barksdale about that. It's 1-2. That's on the ground and just foul past first. Again to right. 2 outs. Boy, you'd love to see Iglesias throw 15 or fewer in this inning to make sure he's got plenty of petrol for the 9th, if that's the way the Braves go.
I'm sure if you're Brian Snitker, you hope, hey, let's score 3 in the top of the 9th. Then you don't have to worry about it. But that is why even that run by Harris was so big.
Strike 1 for the Marlins shortstop. Popped him up. Long run Dansby. And he's going to make the over-the-shoulder grab. The Braves are putting on a defensive show in game 1 in Miami. Iglesias gets us to the 9th with a 5-2 lead. Braves have a 3-run lead entering the 9th inning in Miami in game 1. And Eliezer Hernandez will come on. He's the 3rd reliever to pitch for Don Mattingly's Marlins. Hernandez gave up a couple of runs last night. He's the man that surrendered the 2-run home run to Michael Harris. Here in the 9th, he'll face Dansby Swanson, Austin Riley, and Matt Olson. A couple of other defensive changes for Miami. Joey Wendell is at second. John Berti is in left.
I do see Kenley Jansen warming up down there in the Braves bullpen.
No balls and a strike for Dansby Swanson, who's walked twice and looks for his first hit. And Dansby's down on strikes, and that's how the 9th inning starts for Atlanta. Austin Riley is the hitter.
Changeup on that pitch.
And it was a beauty. See if Austin Riley can pick up his big league leading 43rd multi-hit game. Riley has a 4th inning single today. That was close, even count though. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, the Marlins will have their 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up. Cooper, Aguilar, and Blade. Popped up. And there is Cooper right behind the first base bag and drifting to the line for out number 2. Matt Olson the batter, but first a quick message from Yamaha Wave Runners.
The best parts of the best days are just moments. They come quick, so you need something quicker. The ones who seize moments go with Yamaha.
Homers in back-to-back games in this series for Matt Olson. What was impressive about his second of those 2 homers, it came off Luzardo, his teammate in Oakland, and it was a bullet into the club in left center. You look at Matt, he's a big tall guy, but he's not a big burly hitter, but he still gets plenty of juice to hit the ball out the other way.
He's got incredible backspin on the ball. Really, when he hits it like that ball to Luzardo, it comes off different off his bat than majority of people. Just got that extra carry to it.
A swing and a miss ends Olson's day, and the Braves are out in order in the 9th. But a 3-run lead, 3 outs to get in Game 2 in Miami.
Over the Marlins, Kenley Jansen picking up his 25th save of the season last night, guys. Working with Chadwick Trump, who has been the star of the show here this afternoon, but also a really cool moment that I saw in the clubhouse in Boston. As Chadwick Trump walked into the clubhouse, Kenley Jansen goes over, gives him this big high five and hug, lights up and is like, hey man, will you take a picture with me? And I'm thinking, where's the history between these two? So I walk up and I'm like, Kenley, what's the deal? And he's, man, this kid is from Aruba and I'm from Curacao, so it's so exciting. If I were to pitch to him in a game, it would be the first time in the history that a couple of kids from those islands have basically taken center stage here in the big leagues, guys. And I just thought that was so cool. So I wanted to pass that along because these two have certainly both been a big part of this game this afternoon.
Yeah, Trump behind the plate and at it with 3 RBIs. Terrific job working with Muller, Stevens, Iglesias, and now Kenley Jansen, who will try to save his 2nd in a row down in Miami. Jansen sitting on 25 saves for the Braves this year.
Yeah, tell Trump, get a string more outs and then you can go relax. Effort he's put forth here this afternoon.
So Garrett Cooper leads off the Miami 9th. Cooper 1 for 3 in today's game. So Aruba and Curacao, 2 of the ABC islands in the Caribbean. The second of those 3 is Bonaire. Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao. Beautiful part of the world. And you know, fans in that part of the globe watching this game intently today. As Kenley misses high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, during the World Baseball Classic, they all play for the Netherlands. And Bogarts is on that team too. Got a pretty good little ball club. Ozzie.
1 ball, 1 strike for Cooper, who drives that out of play. You have more for us, Kel?
Well, also going on, Kenley Jansen was saying how, you know, this really all started for them with Andrew Jones.
Yep.
He goes, he's the one who opened it up for all of us. Once he made it, we were kids in these islands, right, looking at him saying, if he can make it, so can I. And he's like, it's the whole reason scouts are down there now looking at guys in Aruba or Curacao. So I think he wants to make sure that Andrew Jones knows what an inspiration he is to all of these guys still. So I thought that was just a really cool story.
Great story. And more proof to the pudding. If you're good, whether you're playing in a big college program or you're playing on a tiny island,
yep,
someone will find you. And the Braves are certainly happy to have Jansen and Chadwick Trump in the lineup today. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Braves leading 5-2. Driven to right, and plenty of room for Ronald. That ball drifting near the wall, and he makes the catch. That knuckled at the last moment, it looked like, but Acuna hung with it. 1 away in inning number 9.
That ball kept kind of just, usually it comes back down that right field line. This one kept drifting, got closer to that wall.
Kyle Muller in line for his 3rd big league win. His first since last July 26th, when he bested the New York Mets. Wonder if Kyle will get another start. We do have the Mets and Astros coming up at home next week, starting Monday night.
I think even if it's not this next time around, he's given them the confidence so that if they do need somebody to come up, he can fill that role and be that guy. And hopefully gave himself the confidence too to know that I can do it at this level.
5 innings of 3-hit ball for Muller. He was on a great roll at AAA when he got the summons today for the Braves. Really have shuffled around the rotation for this day-night doubleheader. And we still don't know officially who's going to pitch for the Braves here tomorrow afternoon in the road trip finale.
I imagine a lot of that was going to depend on what happened in this first game of the doubleheader.
Popped up. Vaughn Grissom is underneath, and Kenley Jansen is 1 out away from a perfect 1-2-3 9th inning and save number 26. And J.J. Bleday is the Marlins' final hope. He's 0 for 7 in the series. And last time up, hit into a double play. Boy, Austin Riley had a great game at third base defensively.
That's the thing. You look at him from an offensive standpoint, you know, just had that single today, but again, so many other ways that he can contribute defensively was the main thing this afternoon.
And I think you'd agree that's what MVPs do, right?
Oh, yeah.
You impact the game in every way. The Braves are an out away from a 4th consecutive win. That's what's making Kenley have a little steam under the cap. A few too many walks.
Saw 2 last night, and now 3-0 here.
Don't give him any hope. Bleday, a rookie. Jansen, a future Hall of Famer, perhaps. But he lost him on 4 pitches with 2 outs. So Nick Fortes is the final hope for Miami. He chased Michael Harris to the center field fence. Fortes 0 for 3 in today's play. Mention the impressive numbers for Raisel Iglesias. When he came in earlier, Iglesias and Kenley Jansen, the only 2 pitchers with at least 30 saves in the previous 4 years. What a combo for the Braves.
Yeah, one team.
As the runner goes, the Braves will concede that base. Bleday is in scoring position. Strike 1 to Fortes. Ian Anderson pitches the nightcap. And now we're a strike away.
All the Braves fans coming to their feet.
The 0-2 pitch. And the Marlins man from Ole Miss not going quietly here in the bottom of the ninth.
Just off the plate.
You don't want to bring the tying run to the plate. Kenley needs 1 more strike as he's ready for his 18th pitch. Kenley Jansen, 10th all-time in saves in the major leagues. He's 2 away from the 9th spot as he comes set with the right-hand shimmy and the 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, 2-2. Charles LeBlanc would be the next hitter. We want to see him in game 2. Another foul ball. Quite the battle.
And he's working them.
Pitch number 8 coming for the Miami catcher. High fly ball into left field. Grossman is there, and the Braves have won it 5-2. Your final score. Atlanta, Jeff, has won its 4th straight game.
Yeah, I tell you what, you love the way that they came out and played today. worked Luzardo, finally broke through in the 4th inning. Kyle Muller, great job. Jackson Stevens comes in, gives you 2 good ones. And then, of course, Iglesias and Jansen. But tonight, or this afternoon, Chadwick Trump for me. What a game. 2 doubles, really could have been 3 if he could have ran. 3 RBIs, and more importantly, gutted it out behind the dish. I mean, the guy couldn't even run. Stayed in there. Welcome back to the big leagues. Heck of a game.
And welcome back to the big leagues for Kyle Muller, who picks up the win for Atlanta. So the battery was terrific. The 8-9 hitters terrific at the plate. And the Braves have a chance to sweep a doubleheader in Miami thanks to a 5-2 Game 1 win. Ian Anderson has the ball for Atlanta in Game 2. Our Braves live coverage will start at 6:30 on Valley Sports Southeast.
Let's go get some food, partner.
Like that's a problem. We'll get you set for Game 2. Braves will try to sweep the double dip in Miami. We'll see in just a couple hours from Lone Depot Park. Stick around. Braves Live presented by Xfinity is next.